Hey guys, so I'm back out. It's Wednesday. Yesterday was late day, so I couldn't come out to the shop. But nevertheless, lots of activity around here. The Mennonites, well actually the guys that the Mennonites contracted to take off the corn are out there taking it off with silage. But they're nearly done. That's probably them pulling out right now actually. But nevertheless, so what am I doing here? Well, that's my adapter plate. That's actually just a little bit of excess seam sealer. But nevertheless, I'm going to cut out a piece of this gasket material. This is I've got some rubber and cork in here, but I'm going to cut up the rubber stuff and make a gasket between this and the firewall, and then bolt this guy up. And then I can size up, you know, whether or not I'm going to have to lengthen this shaft. I'm really hoping I can get away with it. You know, like I know it's not going to be more than an inch that it needs to be lengthened. Actually, did I say shorten? I meant lengthen before. It won't need to be lengthened more than an inch, and I'm hoping it'll be less. If it's a half an inch less, then I think I can live with the pedal being, you know, half an inch. You know, or whatever that translates into lower. You know, if it is going to be a full inch, well, I'll just have to see where the pedal sits and go from there. You know, like I don't want to be too fussy here because it seems that every project that goes with this truck is ballooning up into some major custom modification, and that was so not what I wanted to do. In any case, oh, by the way, that's what happens to seam sealer if you leave it out too long, or if you wait too long before you use it. It just blows out the end. Anyways, let's get to this and just get it done. There you go. Everything all cut out. I went and I've got some leather punches that work fairly well on this rubber for the smaller stuff, but for the bigger part I just took a piece of exhaust pipe and sharpened the edge and used that to punch it out. Give a little bit, left it a little ragged, but nevertheless. Should be good. So I'm going to bolt this to that, try and get it so it's reasonably level, and get it real tight. I might have to make a tool to tighten this nut. I don't know how that's going to work. Like you can see in here, it's not exactly a lot of room in there to even do anything. Either that or I'll just hit it with a punch. Well, it might stick out a bit. That was supposed to be below the surface of that. Well, then I guess what I might be doing is I might be grinding it down a bit on the edge that I'm taking off. It might be just, you know what it is? Some of that seam sealer got on there, so I'll clean that off. Should take it down below. Okay, well, next thing you see, this should all be on the firewall. I won't bother putting that on because if I have to take this off to lengthen this, it's just more trouble. Okay, so I suppose I should show you it. The Hydroboost is on there. It's not quite tight, but it's not wobbling. I have to tighten it down a bit. I have to end up making a tool, and I don't know how well it's going to work for for tightening it, but we'll see how we go. I got it as tight as I could just by hand, and we'll go from there. I'm really just sizing this up. So that's mounted. Yeah, I don't know if it matters where it sits right now, but nevertheless. So we're going here. We have another look under here, and well, dumb me, I managed to put it on the wrong side of the pedal, but it's for all intents and purposes, it's good. I can get a good angle on that. Probably not. There's too many wires. Anyways, well, it looks like if I really wanted it to, if I wanted to use the pre-existing hole, it would be sitting about there, which is ridiculously low compared to the accelerator pedal. But if I modified the pedal, like the pedal arm, add a little bit of metal to the back of it, and put the new pivot point pretty much centered on the very back edge of that piece, it would sit at the position it's at right now. So rather than weld to that, which will be a bitch, what I'm going to do, and rather than wreck this one, which is all nicely powder coated, I'm going to dig out one of my spare ones and add some material to it and weld it up. But I think I've gone past my power hour here, so I think that's it for today, guys. So thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. Oh, I got a couple of updates on cards and things. I sent out most of the hopefully I wasn't putting that on camera, but nevertheless, I sent out most of the patches that I got 2 more to send out. I got to send one out to Chief and one to Stone Crusher, I believe it is. Stone Crusher 1. So, but I'll get those out probably tomorrow and that. But I got one from Tim's Beetle last week, and I think it was Monday. I got this one from Bridge Chev Truck. I don't know how you're meant to pronounce it, but I'm pronouncing it phonetically. But nevertheless, he's got I really like that style of truck. I used to call him a Bulldog, but they're a great truck. I always wanted a Cameo, which is kind of similar to that. But I think what I'd look for when I want to get one of those is I'd look for something like an Apache or something like that from like a 58 or a 59. But I got too many projects as it is, and keep seeing other ones come up that I'd really like. I should just stop looking at the classified ads for classic cars, because it's just going to get me in trouble, especially eBay. Because one I'd really like to get, and I saw 2 in months of having an active search on eBay for it. I never saw anything come up, but what did I see come up in the last couple of weeks? 2 Studebaker Conestoga wagons, meaning the not the actual Pioneer style, but one was a 54 and one was a 55, and they only made them for 2 years in the 2 doors. And the 55s look a lot like this one in the front. You know, well, if you knew what the grill for a 55 looked like. And the 54s had the more classic kind of grill that had two openings on either side rather than the shark mouth. But 2 of those came up. One was out Old Dude's Way, and one was on the west coast, so they're a little bit too far away for me to go and pick those up. Nevertheless, I'll keep my eyes open and go from there. I'm not going to buy another vehicle. We learned the hard way too many times not to buy any more long distance vehicles, because unless I go there to actually see it, I usually somewhat end up regretting it. You know, the furthest I've driven for vehicles was the truck I'm working on now. I drove it into, I guess it was southern Indiana for it, and I don't know how many hours that one was. That might have been 10 hours. And the other one I drove fairly far for was this one, the Studebaker here. And that one I drove 6 or 8 hours each way. It was on the western edge of Michigan. And it may not look it, but it actually is well worth the drive. This one I was very happy to. But I did drive out and see this one, drove home, and then a month or 2 later went and picked it up after I bought it. So anyways, I'm rambling. Time to knock off, I think, and put doggies to bed and go to get something to eat myself. Later, guys. Well, I can never leave anything for the next day, so I grabbed a pedal box for a manual out of the attic there. And this is what it looks like. That's the actuator for the clutch pedal. I'll show you exactly what I mean. That's the stock hole for one. If I weld a piece of metal in here and then drill it out, you know, a new hole right here, it'll actually be in the perfect position for the pedal to be in the right spot. Now there's no adjustment on that arm, so the only adjustment I have is literally in the switch. I don't think the switch is, I don't know if the switch is meant to act like a stop or not, but you can see it right there. I guess that's essentially what's happening with this one. There isn't a physical stop other than that, as you can see. So it's not, I don't know if that's necessarily a good or a bad design, but wouldn't be the way I would do it. But nevertheless, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching.